This scam product claims it tuned a 1969 Beetle to travel 2,096 miles on a single tank of fuel. That's insane, and with the rising gas prices today, all of these types of scam products are coming out of the woodwork. Well, I'm here today to shove them back in. Sponsored by Linode. Hey guys, how are you all doing? If you're new here, welcome. My name is Krazy Ken, and these fuel saver scams have plagued the internet for years, and I finally want my chance to tackle them. I've received tons of requests to look into stuff like this, and actually I started investigating them about 14 months ago, but I ended up pursuing some other scam products, so I kind of put this one on the back burner. However, the timing worked out really well because gas prices are really high right now, so I think now is much more important to talk about these things than last year. These products go by many names: EcoTune, Effuel, Nitro OBD2, EcoPlus, EcoChip, Fuel Saver, and probably my favorite, Petrol Smasher. And I'm willing to bet none of them work, as we'll find out soon. Despite the different names, for the most part, all of the products look like this green rectangular device, and it's actually called Eco OBD2. Trademark. Ooh, sounds so official. I'll check with Tess to see if that's actually a real trademark. So that's a quick overview of this scam. Now it's time for you and me to dive in deeper. And while we're doing that, my friend Tyler, who runs the YouTube channel Daily Driven, is going to physically test this thing in his own vehicle. So Tyler, over to you.
Thanks, Ken, I appreciate it.
Don't thank me yet.
Here it is. We're going to be installing this guy on the Mustang behind me, and we're going to do two tests. One as a control, we're going to drive it 20 miles to see what average MPG we get, and then I'm going to hook this thing in, and we'll see if we can do better.
So while Tyler is testing the product, let's dive into the video ads behind it. This ad uses a terrible computer voiceover, and it starts by saying,
"With the cost of gasoline expected to rise."
And I gotta say, that's probably the only truthful thing in that ad. I archived that video in May 2021, and over a year later, yeah, that's proven to be true. But betting on rising gas prices is kind of a safe bet. And thanks to this new technology, you can reduce fuel consumption by 15 to 35%, and it's all thanks to a Japan-based startup, and Big Oil wants to hide e-fuel from the public. But thanks to the internet, the secret is out, and people are reaping the rewards of lower fuel consumption. So how does e-fuel work? Well, the ad says it's simple, just plug it into your car's OBD2 port, and it's absolutely 100% legal. And a few moments later, the ad just stops.
Make sure you get yours while you can.
Very nice. Okay, we have to break this thing down, but there's another ad. Let's take a look at that too. This time, it's not a Japanese startup. It's a student who got kicked out of Harvard for inventing a fuel-saving device. Yeah, how dare you further science at Harvard? The nerve! The device is called EcoFuel, but wait, it looks identical to the Japanese startup product. Oh no, copyright infringement. I hope there's not a lawsuit. Oh wait, there was a lawsuit. Oh, but it was with Big Oil. Okay, totally different thing. The ad continues with no voiceover. It's just stock footage, text, and dramatic music. And that's it. So let's break down these two Oscar-worthy videos. The first video claims the product's name is eFuel, but every shot of the product shows the name Eco OBD2, trademarked, which, by the way, does not show up as a registered trademark in TESS or in WIPO, so that's a red flag. And on top of that, the whole video feels cheap. The editing is poor, the narration is out of sync with the titles, and some shots lazily repeat with a jump cut.
The fuel-saving chip will remap your car's computer to make everything run more efficiently. Is this device actually legal?
And a cheaper ad can usually mean a cheaper product, so be wary of that. Also, the ad, like other cliche scam product ads in the past, positions the man, or big insert name here, as the villain, in this case, Big Oil. And they position this Japanese startup as the hero. But they don't say who the company is, and when they cite a source, they merely say an analyst. That wouldn't even pass a 4th grade bibliography. One more thing I'd like to point out about this ad, and I have no idea if this was on purpose or not, but when they're talking about Big Oil, they show a consumer shopping for oil, but not like motor oil, like vegetable oil. Maybe it's symbolism. So now the second ad plays the guy who knew too much trope with this genius Harvard student who got kicked out. Like the first ad, it positions the man as the bad guy, but instead of a faceless company, it introduces us to the hero of the story, James Davison, the alleged former Harvard student. By the way, he's fake. If he truly was this famous engineer, you'd think there'd be at least one published news story of him, but there isn't. And when the video shows his face for the first time, you never see his face again in any of the other scenes, because the editor is merely using a bunch of unrelated stock clips, and this further enforces the point that this Davison person isn't real. Even in the final shot, the text says, "Footage, Getty." They're not even hiding the fact that it's stock footage. Now, sadly, this scam doesn't just stop with the videos. There's a lot of websites that push this thing too, so let's take a look at them. To start, I saw several EcoPlus ads that show a person pouring Coca-Cola into their gas tank. Okay, that's great clickbait, but also, guys, don't do that. I don't think I have to tell you that. I mean, in reality, dissolved sugar in a soda will likely not cause any significant damage to an engine, but it also won't provide any benefit, so maybe just save the soda for your mouth hole instead. While investigating the scam, I also received many marketing emails, such as this EcoTune email, claiming up to a 35% gas savings. By the way, that Coke ad links to this advertorial page. It's a web page that's dressed to look like a news website or article, but it's just a fancy ad in disguise. They even wrote a disclaimer at the bottom of the page saying this is an ad, not an actual news article. Another way to spot these fake news sites is looking at the publish date. I originally accessed this landing page on June 19, 2022, and the publish date said June 9th. So far so good. But then I accessed it on July 21st, and the date suspiciously changed to July 11th. They're changing the date to make it look like it's a fresh news article, but really it's just deceitful marketing. Also, the logo on the product changes orientation between two pictures, so this is probably just a bad Photoshop job to hide the Eco OBD2 logo that's actually printed on the plastic. Oh, and just a heads up, this product is not available on Amazon. Except it is, albeit with a different name. But my favorite website is about this 1969 Beetle, where they managed to drove from Pittsburgh to Atlantic City on a single tank of gas, which is only about 365 miles, so that's not too impressive, at least with modern vehicles. But then they say it traveled 2,096 miles on a single tank. Whoa, hang on, slow your roll now. That's a completely different claim than 365 miles. You would need a really big tank to cover 2,000 miles in one refuel. You're not fitting that in a Beetle. It claims this achievement was thanks to a device called Petrol Smasher, but later the site calls it Fuel Saver? Again, lack of consistency. That's something to keep an eye out. It's a huge red flag. And also, why the fudge does this thing look like a Christmas tree light? And also, it plugs into the auxiliary outlet on your car, not the OBD2 port? How is it going to communicate with the engine? This is just ridiculous. I bet this invention also has a fake inventor behind it too. Someone with a silly name like, I don't know, Piercy Belson. Oh, come on! Krazy Ken wishes to apologize to any viewers who are actually named Piercy Belson. Okay, I'm just gonna have to stop with this website because I can just feel my brain turning to sand the more I read it. So now, with all that stuff aside, let's focus on the product that jump-started this whole investigation. Effuel. Unfortunately, the original URL, ordereffuel.co, doesn't work anymore, but I have it archived. The Effuel website, like many others, makes the up to 35% savings claim, and the product comes with powerful patented technology. And they say it's simple to use. Just plug it into the OBD2 port on your car, which we'll talk more about in a sec. And notice how the Effuel logo is on the product in these images. It's likely just another Photoshop job because the real-life product doesn't show this branding anywhere. Even some Effuel reviews show the product without the Effuel logo present. More inconsistencies equals more red flags. This is a little confusing to me. I'm just gonna have to call their award-winning customer service. Oh yeah, with a web page of that quality, you have to be award-winning. Don't try the phone number, by the way. It doesn't go anywhere. Shocker. Fun fact, there is an alternate URL, which as of July 22nd is still active, effuelofficial.com, which offers the same products but with a different web layout. And best of all, it features results guaranteed promise. But sadly, when you click the order button, you're directed to another parked domain. Thankfully, back when I started this investigation, the websites were working, so I went ahead and bought one. So I chose the 2-pack, in case I obliterate one like I did with the fake SSD episode. Then I got an annoying pop-up with a 5% discount. Oh, so generous. Then it was time for the post-transaction upsells. Boom! Get an extra at 30% off. Get a wide-angle dash cam. Get an energy saver and cut down on your power bills. Wait, what? Are you serious? I debunked this thing in another Scam Buster episode. All these products are in bed with each other, I swear. Hang on, I'm getting word that Tyler's test results are almost in. For the car, not for his body. I mean, I'm not spying on him or anything. Anyway, while we're waiting for those to finalize, let's take a more technical look at the hardware itself. But I think we need to clarify a few things, because the product claims it plugs into your OBD2 port and then it communicates with your car's ECU. What are those things? OBD stands for onboard diagnostics, and the 2 simply means second generation. If you have a scanner, this is where you'd plug it in to read DTCs, or diagnostic trouble codes. Oh look, I have a leak. Well, isn't that splendid? The OBD2 port has 16 pin locations. 7 of them don't connect to anything by default, but they may be used for different functions depending on the vehicle. So now what's this ECU thing? ECU stands for Engine Control Unit. Basically, it's the brain of your car's engine. It helps your engine work properly so your car drives how it should. The ECU is a computer with inputs and outputs. The input signals from the engine translate into data, for example, temperature and RPMs. The output signals connect to the fuel injectors, controlling them to achieve the target air-fuel ratio. The ECU's output also connects to the ignition system and controls engine timing by regulating the time in which the spark ignites the fuel. Ultimately, this helps achieve optimal power and fuel economy, which is your miles per gallon. So to sum that up, these products claim they can communicate with the ECU in your car and tune it so your engine runs better. But for a tiny, cheap automatic box, that seems really impractical. To get a real tune, you're going to be spending, at the lower end, at least $300 to $400 to have it done properly. And every vehicle is different. So this varies on a car-by-car basis most of the time. And this process requires human work, human effort to do the tune properly. So having some magical plug-and-play device that just does it for you, regardless of your car, seems very impractical. So I'm going to crack this thing open carefully to see what's going on the inside. I bet it isn't much. And while I work on this, let's take a look at Tyler's test results. Take it away, man.
All right, guys, results are in for the EcoOBD2. We did the control run where we got 31.3 mpg out of the Mustang EcoBoost, which is pretty good. Then we installed the EcoOBD2 and did the same run, 20 miles, and I got 30 mpg on that run. I don't think this actually had anything to do with that. On that test run, I ended up hitting more traffic than I did on the control. But this thing didn't help it either. I didn't see a drastic change in MPGs when installing this. It didn't do anything for me.
Oh, this product didn't do anything? Somebody call NASA. Thank you, Tyler, for testing it out. And if you guys want to check out more of his car videos, feel free to head over to his Daily Driven YouTube channel right now. Okay, so I spent some time poking around the inside of this thing, and I think I found out why it doesn't do anything. This product has 16 pins on it to match the OBD2 port, but only 3 of them actually connect to anything. These 2 pins connect to ground, and this 1 pin connects to the board to power the LEDs. So it blinks and it looks like it's doing something when it's really just a fake light show. None of the other pins connect to anything. They don't even physically touch the board. And here's the backside. Nothing to report here. And if we compare this product to the ones Big Clive tore down, my product is way more bare bones than his. I guess the scammers had budget cuts over time. So there you go. It's just a green plastic box that lights up and doesn't do jack. And the guys that are marketing this thing online are just lying to everyone's face. Don't waste your time with this. But one thing that is worth your time is Linode. They won't steer you wrong. If you have an application or a website that you need to get off the ground, you need to scale and deploy it, Linode has the infrastructure and the 24/7 support that you need. Linode offers out-of-box apps for game servers like TF2, CSGO, and even Minecraft. You can run your own virtual private network with OpenVPN, build an online application with Joomla's content management system, or build a video streaming site with a multitude of app choices. There's so much you can do with Linode's affordable Linux virtual machines. And to boot, they offer award-winning 24/7 technical support. To put it simply, if it runs on Linux, it runs on Linode. Visit linode.com/computerclan and click one of the sign-up buttons. And when you do that, I'll give you a 60-day $100 credit just for watching this episode. And also, when you do that, you're supporting the computer clan, so thank you very much. So that's Effuel. By the way, it's valued at $80. That's insane. Don't waste your time with these products and be wary of these scams. Oh, by the way, good news. The Computer Clan is now the most viewed channel on YouTube, and I have a reliable source, an analyst. Anyway, I hope you learned something today, and I hope you had fun. And of course, I hope you strengthen your BS detector as well. I'll see you guys next time. Catch the crazy and pass it on.